The moment you need her, you've already lost her. Read that again and let it sink in. You don't gain power over a woman by chasing her, pleasing her, or proving yourself. You don't earn respect by over-explaining, over-texting, or over-giving. Power is not created by desperation. Power is created the moment you realize you don't need her to complete you. Real power begins when you understand that your value does not live in her attention, her approval, or her validation. Now ask yourself something uncomfortable. What if everything you were taught about love, relationships, and women was designed to make you weak? What if the world programmed you to serve, to submit, to beg, and then called it love? This message is not for everyone. It is not for men who want comfort or validation. It is for the man who is tired of being invisible, tired of giving more than he receives, and tired of performing like a clown just to be chosen. This is your wake-up call, and if you're ready to hear the truth, say it to yourself right now: I choose power. She does not want the man who needs her. She wants the man who doesn't. Not the one who texts her 12 times a day. Not the one who collapses when she says she's not feeling it anymore, and not the one who begs for reassurance. She wants the man who can walk away mid-sentence if respect disappears and never look back. That is real power. You were taught wrong. Society told you to be nice, agreeable, and soft. They said happy wife, happy life. They told you to open up, cry, share everything, and always put her first. But be honest, did that ever make her love you more? Or did she pull away the moment you became too available, too emotional, and too predictable? Power is not loud, it lives in silence. Respect is never begged for, it is earned. And the love you crave only arrives when you love yourself more than you could ever love her. In this message, you learn how to gain power over a woman, not through manipulation or force, but by becoming the man she instinctively follows. Rule number 1: stop needing her. You lose her the moment she feels you need her more than you need to respect yourself. This is not poetry, this is psychological law. The second your actions begin to orbit her approval, you shrink in her eyes. She may never say it, but she feels it in your tone, your posture, and the way you reply instantly to every message. Your entire day starts bending around her moods, and you quietly hand her your power. A man who does this stops being a force. He becomes an accessory, a comfort object she can pick up or put down whenever she chooses. Not because she is evil, but because you trained her to see you that way. A woman cannot love a man who is not leading himself. If you follow her like a lost boy, hoping she will validate your worth, you slowly erode everything she once admired about you. What you call love texting all day, asking her opinion on every move, waiting by the phone is actually dependency in disguise. And dependency is the death of desire. It communicates, I have no life without you, which does not attract her. It suffocates her. She did not enter your life to carry you like a burden. She came because she saw a fire in you, your direction, your presence, your purpose. You had something bigger than her, but somewhere along the way, you turned her into your mission. Now you are emotionally homeless, trying to live inside her approval. That is not love. That is emotional self-destruction. If you want her to feel drawn to you like gravity, you must become untouchable in the right way. Not cold, not cruel, but immovable. She must know that if she disappeared tomorrow, your life would continue strong, grounded, and unshaken. That is where attraction lives, in certainty, direction, and calm dominance. To stop needing her, you must rebuild your inner world from the ground up. Withdraw your energy from her and invest it into yourself as if your life depends on it, because it does. Stop checking if she viewed your story. Stop rereading texts for hidden meanings, and stop treating her silence like an emergency. Every second spent analyzing her is a second stolen from your growth. Get obsessed, but not with her. Get obsessed with becoming competent, disciplined, and emotionally grounded. Wake up before the sun, train until your excuses break, and read books that rewire your thinking: Stoicism, psychology, and strategy. Cut distractions, cut weak influences, and build your vision like an empire. Track your habits as if your future depends on them. Most importantly, embrace voluntary suffering. Discipline yourself until pain becomes your teacher rather than your enemy. The man who can sit in discomfort without losing himself is the man no woman can break. He becomes the rock, the standard, the frame she respects even when she disagrees. She is quietly craving that man. The one who does not chase when she pulls away, who does not flinch when tested, and who says no without fear of losing her. You become him by reclaiming every piece of yourself you once surrendered for her attention. The fake laughs, the unnecessary apologies, the wasted explanations. Take it all back. Stop needing her, and start needing your own respect more than her affection. When you stop needing her, something subtle but powerful begins to shift. She may not consciously understand it, but she feels your steadiness. Your texts become fewer but stronger. Your presence becomes calmer but heavier. You stop asking for reassurance, and instead you move with certainty. She begins to sense that your life does not orbit around her, and paradoxically that is exactly what pulls her closer. Not because you are playing games, but because you have become a man rooted in himself. She will test this new version of you. She might go quiet, act distant, or challenge your decisions just to see if you crack. Most men panic at this point. They apologize, chase, over-explain, or soften their boundaries. But the man who has rebuilt himself does none of that. He remains centered. He does not chase the storm, he stands still while it passes. And that stillness is deeply magnetic. That is the moment many men misunderstand. They think detachment means being cold or cruel. It does not. It means being grounded enough that you can love without losing yourself. You can care without collapsing. You can want her without needing her. That balance is what separates a powerful man from an emotional prisoner. As your frame strengthens, your priorities become clearer. Your mission comes first. Your discipline comes first. Your self-respect comes first. She no longer feels like your oxygen. She feels like a companion you choose, not a crutch you cling to. Women feel that difference immediately, even if they can't articulate it. And when she notices that your energy is no longer desperate, she often begins to move differently. She texts more consistently, speaks more gently, and approaches you with greater respect. Not because you demanded it, but because your presence naturally required it. Power changes behavior without forcing it. This leads to the second great principle, that woman does not truly trust a man who cannot trust himself. She follows the man who can walk straight even when the world around him is chaotic. You do not earn her respect by trying to control her, you earn it by mastering the battle inside your own head. The real battlefield is not between you and her, it is between your emotions and your discipline, your ego and your mission, your impulses and your purpose. If you fall apart every time she pulls away, if your mood depends on her replies, you have surrendered your inner stability, your most valuable asset. You must build a mind that cannot be bought by beauty or broken by rejection. Most men do not lose because they lack value. They lose because they cannot lead themselves. They panic when she tests them, fold when she gets distant, and crumble when she challenges their direction. What they fail to realize is that she is doing this to see whether he is solid or simply pretending. If you want to win this game, you must stop performing and start observing. Watch your thoughts without obeying them. Notice your emotions without being enslaved by them. When she says something that bruises your ego, pause, breathe, and respond like a man who has nothing to prove. When she pulls away emotionally, do not chase. Hold your frame. Stay steady. Let her feel the gravity of your presence rather than the panic of your need. She is not listening to your words as much as she is watching your composure. To build this mindset, you must kill the reactive boy inside you. No angry texts, no triple texting, no desperate explanations. Stillness becomes your weapon. The reaction becomes your weakness. If she knows she can trigger you, she knows she controls you. If she cannot rattle you, she instinctively respects you. Real strength is shown when you can sit in discomfort without running from it. When you can face rejection, confusion, or tension and still walk forward like nothing has shaken your path. This is not natural, it is forged through discipline. You build this version of yourself through consistent action. Every time you train when you're tired, you strengthen your mind. Every time you meditate or journal, you gain control over your reactions. Every time you delay gratification, you prove to yourself that you are in command of your impulses. Mastering your mind does not mean becoming emotionless. It means becoming emotionally intelligent. When a woman sees a man who cannot be shaken, she relaxes into her femininity. She feels safe enough to be soft because she knows you are strong enough to hold the frame. Not through dominance, but through clarity and presence. Every time you avoid discomfort, you weaken yourself. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you grow stronger. Starve the child inside you who wants ease. Feed the warrior who seeks growth. Leadership begins within, and if you cannot lead yourself, no woman will ever truly follow you. Speak less, move more, create a code of values and live by it relentlessly. Make your mornings sacred. Make your habits non-negotiable. Let your actions speak so loudly that your words become secondary. When your mind becomes unshakable, your presence becomes undeniable. And when your presence becomes undeniable, power over attraction happens naturally, not through tactics, but through who you have become. When you master your mind, something deeper begins to transform inside you. You stop seeing women as prizes to win and start seeing them as choices to make. You no longer chase affection, you attract alignment. Your calm becomes your loudest statement, and your consistency becomes your most seductive trait. A woman may forget your compliments, but she will never forget how steady you made her feel. This does not mean you become distant or robotic. It means you become intentional. You speak less, but your words carry weight. You react less, but your presence commands respect. You are not trying to impress her anymore. You are simply living at such a high standard that she either rises to meet you or naturally falls out of your orbit, and either outcome is acceptable to you. When she senses this inner shift, her behavior often changes automatically. She becomes more attentive, more responsive, and more emotionally open. Not because you controlled her, but because your frame made her feel safe. Women do not submit to force. They submit to certainty. They soften around men who are rooted, centered, and emotionally self-governing. And this leads to the final realization. True power over attraction does not come from tactics, tricks, or psychological games. It comes from identity. It comes from becoming a man who does not need validation to stand tall. A man whose mission is so clear that distraction has no power over him. A man who would rather walk alone than walk out of alignment with his values. Every morning you choose who you are becoming. You either reinforce weakness or you build strength. You either react emotionally or you respond consciously. You either beg for attention or you earn respect through discipline. Small choices compound into a powerful character. You must remind yourself daily, her love is not your oxygen, your purpose is. Masculinity lives in direction, not dependency. It lives in knowing where you are going and moving toward it, whether anyone applauds you or not. Become the man who leads his life so powerfully that she must either level up to walk beside you or step aside by default. That is the energy she will never forget. That is the presence that stays in her mind long after you leave the room. You gain power not by controlling her, but by becoming undeniable in your path, your presence, and your peace. Not by dominating her, but by mastering yourself. Not by holding her tighter, but by holding your frame stronger. Stop texting her for comfort. Start texting your future. Stop waiting for her call. Answer your mission. Stop begging to be chosen. Choose yourself so fully that she feels compelled to choose you back. She does not want to rescue you. She wants to rise beside you. She wants to look at you and feel inspired, not burdened. But she can only feel that if you show up as a man who is grounded enough to make decisions without constantly checking her emotional temperature. Stop walking on eggshells. Start walking with purpose. When she sees you stand in your truth, even when it shakes the room, that is when she truly trusts you. And if she does not, let her go. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are here to become the kind of man who does not ask for permission to exist, the kind of man who does not beg for seats at tables, he builds his own, the kind of man whose silence speaks louder than most men's speeches. Cut the noise, unfollow distractions, mute emotional chaos, step back from her orbit and vanish into your evolution, not out of bitterness but out of growth. Rebuild yourself so completely that when she sees you again, she barely recognizes you. Rewire your mind every day. Repeat to yourself, her love is not my oxygen, my purpose is. Anchor yourself in discipline, clarity, and direction. Let your values guide you more than your feelings. If you wake up needing her to feel complete, you will always be half a man. But if you build yourself brick by brick until your presence alone commands silence, you will never need to chase anything. Everything worthy will naturally move toward you. That is how you gain real power over attraction. Not by gripping her, but by gripping yourself. Not by proving your worth, but by becoming so valuable that proof is unnecessary. Stand tall, stay disciplined, lead your life, and watch how the world, including women, begins to move differently around you. Or replace your actions loud. Refuse to argue. Refuse to defend. Refuse or replace to react. You're not here to convince her. You're here to become a man who doesn't need or replace convincing. And when she sees that, when she feels your energy remain calm while the world around you all replace spins, she won't pull away. She'll pull closer because you've become the lighthouse in her all-replace storm. The steady presence that reminds her what it means to be led, and not with force, with clarity, not with all-replaced aggression, with certainty. That's how you gain power over a woman. Not by overpowering her, but by being all-replaced so fully in control of yourself. She chooses to follow your lead. All-replaced not because you asked, but because you earned it. Master your all-replaced mind, and she will never forget your presence. Real strength is shown in how you act when no one is watching and she's all replaced, not replying. When you have the urge to prove your worth and choose silence instead. When you are tempted or replaced to fold and choose stillness instead. When everything in you wants to be seen and you walk away unseen or replaced but unfazed. That's when you become untouchable. She doesn't need a man who reacts to her. She all replaced needs a man who can lead her through emotional storms without losing his balance. You become that all-replaced man not just by reading quotes or watching content. You become him by creating rituals that align your actions with all-replace your standards. Create train daily. All-replace wake up before her. Grind while she sleeps. Lead yourself so all-replace deeply that your life becomes a magnet. And when she returns, when she sees your stillness all-replace didn't break, she won't question you again. Because stillness like that changes the entire dynamic. She doesn't want to mother or replace you. She wants to mirror you. And the mirror reflects strength, order, or replace clarity. That's what she responds to, so build that quietly, or replace daily, permanently. Number 3. Control the all-replace frame. If you don't own the frame, you don't exist in her world. You're just orbiting it. She doesn't follow a man who bends or replace. She doesn't trust the one who adjusts his values to keep her. She wants to know if all replace you stand on something real or if your beliefs are made of sand. Every time you compromise what matters to you for approval, she loses a greater than all replace, greater than layer of respect. This stillness is not withdrawal, it is mastery in motion. You learn to breathe before you speak, to observe before you judge, to anchor yourself when emotions rise like waves. Quiet discipline becomes your armor and your compass. You practice restraint in small moments so you can stand firm in great ones. Every silent choice strengthens your frame, sharpens your presence. Building frame means you understand your values deeply and they are not for sale, not even to the all-replace woman you love. You do not explain your boundaries. You enforce them. You do not beg her to understand your worth. You live in it so fully that it becomes self-evident. She doesn't fall in love with your or replace flexibility. She falls for your groundedness. The man who or replace can say no with calm energy changes everything. It shocks her because so few men can say or replace no without becoming angry or insecure. But when you say it with clarity and confidence, she leans in. Frame is about knowing that or replace you are the chooser, not the applicant. That she is entering your reality, not the other way around. Or replace your life is the center of gravity. And if you dilute it with over-accommodation, or replace you become forgettable. To hold the frame is to know what you want and to never betray it. If you say you don't tolerate lateness, or replace don't accept it. If you say cheating is non-negotiable, don't negotiate. If you say your mission comes first, then don't trade or replace it for convenience. She will test the frame not because she wants to or replace leave, but because she wants to believe it's real. And every time or replace you hold it, her respect for you rises. But if you fold even once, you start dying in her eyes. Frame is or replace built not through dominance but through direction. You must be so certain about where you're going in life. Or replace that she either joins that path or watches you walk it without her. You are not here to adapt to her chaos. You are here to invite her into your order. And if she cannot join or replace you, release her, not with resentment, but with peace. Because the man who knows his path or replace knows that not everyone is meant to walk it with him. You must audit your life like a king audits his court. Who adds to your or replace empire? Who drains it? Who respects the throne and who undermines it behind or replace your back? You do not beg people to stay. You build so powerfully that their absence is their loss, not yours. Or replace, this is the frame. You do not bend your world to be liked. You build your world so or replace powerfully that only the aligned remain. And when she sees that, or replace when she feels that you are not moved by her threats to leave, her manipulation or her coldness, that's when she softens. That's when she follows. That's when she or replace surrenders to the presence of a man who cannot be bent by emotion or seduced by or replace comfort. This is not coldness. It is strength, and it is the strength that allows her or replace to rest. Because the truth is, she doesn't want to lead. She wants to feel your or replace clarity, to trust your stability, to lean into your unwavering presence. But that trust or replace is earned, and it begins the moment you decide that your frame, your values, your vision, your mission come before her moods. Love her or replace absolutely, but never above the principles that define your life. Because the moment you place her above or replace your purpose, she loses the compass she was looking to follow. You lead by staying or replace unshaken, and that leadership isn't loud. It's lived in your tone, or replace in your timing, in your truth. And when you live it fully, her only decision becomes, does she align or does she exit? In either or replace way, you stay rooted. That's frame. That's power. Number 4, lead without chasing. The man who leads doesn't or replace chase. He builds a world she wants to enter. Leadership is not in pursuit, it's in presence. She doesn't follow the man who tries to convince her, explain himself endlessly, or flood her with gifts or replace in hopes she'll stay. She follows the man who walks with such unwavering direction that her or replace instincts tell her to align or be left behind. When you chase, you give her the script. You ask her to direct, or replace to decide, to lead, and she resents it, even if she doesn't understand why. Chasing or replace isn't noble. It's a confession of lack. It says, I don't believe in my or replace value, so I need your validation to feel whole. But what happens or replace when you turn that validation inward? When you stop running toward her and start running toward your greatness, that's when she sees you. Or replace, because real attraction begins where desperation ends. She doesn't need or replace to be overwhelmed. She needs to be inspired. And inspiration or replace comes from motion. Build your life so powerfully that your presence alone feels like gravity. Or replace the kind of man who's not loud about his power, but you feel it in the way he enters a room. In or replace the way he speaks without needing approval. In the way he prioritizes purpose over attention. Your or replace discipline is your magnet. Your silence is your allure. Your path is your offer. If she can't see that, or replace, she's not ready. And you don't slow down for the unready. You keep building. Or replace, you focus on becoming more dangerous, more grounded, more capable. You chase mastery, not women. You refine your craft until you're paid. Just or replace to think. You shape